The Elevate podcast is all about bringing on guests that share their stories, share their background, share their knowledge, share their systems, share their tools with all of us. Welcome to Elevate, the gathering spot for first responders, their families, and the communities that support them. We bring you honest conversations and actionable insights, focused on building resilience and finding balance in places we never thought to look. Each episode is your open invitation to broaden your understanding, shed new light on perspectives, and explore new ways to manage the weight we carry. It's about fortifying bonds, welcoming fresh ideas, and acknowledging every step forward. Together, let's elevate. Hello and welcome to Season 2 of the Elevate Podcast. My name is Kyle Goodknight, and I'm super excited to bring you Season 2. So in Season 2, we are focused on the first responder. We've changed the concept of the podcast, but we didn't change the name. And as you can see in our graphics, that the 11 has still stayed from the UPW program that started the Elevate podcast. So Elevate, I took the L out and put 2 1s in, and those 2 1s represent the on and off duty of a first responder. And that's the concept why I was able to keep the name Elevate, but change gears to elevate the first responders of our community. So your police officers, your firefighters, your paramedics, and your dispatchers are the 4 main first responders. Of course, we also have corrections in there. They may be lumped in with police, but I think they're on their own when it comes to the numbers if you look nationally. So you've got police, fire, paramedics, dispatchers, and corrections officers. And this podcast really could help healthcare workers, anybody that's on the front lines in the hospital, whether it be an ER nurse, an ER respiratory therapist, ER docs. I've actually got an ER doc coming on in a few weeks. Can't wait to have her on and talk about some stories that she's told me of resilience and building things that she's had to do through the COVID years, and some pretty alarming things that you wouldn't expect to happen has happened. So the podcast is basically geared towards those frontline folks that are out there every day, putting their life on the line, away from their family, and serving our community, whether it be in the hospital, on the street, in the dispatch center for the dispatchers. And, what we're doing through the Elevate podcast is we are bringing you stories of how people have fortified themselves. People may have come through a dark area of their life or their career and come out on the other side with answers or with solutions. And we're bringing you those solutions every week, and different solutions, of course, for each week. Now, we know that to fortify ourselves and to protect ourselves from all the struggles that we see out there in our actual job or stressors of family and whatnot, there's not just one thing that we can do that helps us. There could be multiple things that help us. There could be one thing, but we just never learned of it yet. So my goal with the Elevate podcast is to bring you as many guests as I can to show you that there's not just one tool out there that can help people. When it comes to CPR, we don't rely on only one thing of CPR to save the person's life. It's not just compressions. There's also depth of compressions, recoil of compressions. There is the activation of the 911 system that is a huge factor in the CPR process. Many, many things go into CPR that actually saves a life. And that's the same thing when it comes to resilience training. There's many tools out there. There's many things that we can learn, many things that we can do to help us get to a point where we have resiliency, where we have the understanding, where we have the ability to unpack the baggage that we see or deal with and unpack it healthily and understand where it comes from when we have certain situations that don't sit well with us. If we understand where those could come from the guests that we have on, and they share a little nugget, and that's a big thing that's coming about that you'll notice that in every episode going forward, and the ones I've recorded so far, I say, oh, that's a little nugget, and I think that's actually going to hold and going to stick with maybe some breakout sessions later on, or maybe a conglomeration of different episodes, as I'm going to share little nuggets of information. So what I call the nuggets, those little things that are the aha moments, okay? Those things that say, you know what? That makes sense why it affected me that way. That makes sense why I'm being able to deal with this in this way much better than I was the last time that I had a similar situation. The Elevate podcast is all about bringing on guests that share their stories, share their background, share their knowledge, share their systems, share their tools with all of us that want to tune in and listen. So if you're sitting there listening to this and you're thinking, man, there's a few people I know that would really benefit from this podcast, don't hesitate to share it with them. Hit the button that goes to share and forward it to them. When it comes to, if you're seeing this on YouTube, hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcast or Spotify Podcast, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be going weekly with new guests every week, and we're going to have amazing stories, amazing tools, amazing situations that will be really cool to hear how other people have come through. Because ultimately, as first responders, we are there to help people, but who's there to help us? And there are systems in place, and this podcast is one of them. And if you resonate with the people that come on and myself, then tune in every week and get the nuggets of information that I'm going to be bringing to you week in and week out. So once again, I want to thank you guys for showing up to the Elevate Podcast Season 2. And please don't hesitate to put a comment in the links below. And what else? Make sure that you share with your friends, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. I know I've already said that, but I want to make sure that we really get this message out there, because I really feel that this is a podcast that could really go far and make sure that we have a place for someone to come and listen to it on their own time and get nuggets of information that could help them with whatever they're dealing with. And if you have something to share and you want to get a story out to the world, or something that you've come through and now you've seen a better way of dealing with it, and you want to share that with the audience and my listeners, please don't hesitate. Click on the link below, send me a message. I am very easy to find on the internet, kylegoodknight.com, or you can go to Facebook with Kyle Goodknight, or, we do have a Facebook group that we have that is the front line, fortifying the front line. And there's easy ways to get a hold of me if you want to come on this podcast. So please don't hesitate, reach out, set up a call with me, and we can discuss what you have to bring to the show, and we can bring you on and share your story, share your nugget, share your situation, share your tool, and all that good stuff. So once again, I really appreciate you for tuning in, and go ahead and listen to episode 1 of season 2, which is Brian Livingston. And then right after that, I go ahead and give you episode 2 right away. And that's Dr. Mort Ortman. That is an amazing, I think so far, that is one of the most amazing episodes that I've recorded, because I had one of my little aha moments with him because of the things that he discussed, and we go over it when we go in there. And of course, Brian, episode 1, Brian has been a great supporter from day one of all of my building of what I've been building and the podcast. And Brian's story is amazing too when it comes to what do we do after we're done with our career, or in the middle of our career and we want to be done with our career, but we don't know where else to go. Brian has great information on that. He has reinvented himself after his first responder days, and he's got a lot of great information and a couple of great nuggets that he can share with you. So please, please, please tune in to episode 1 and episode 2. They should be live now, right when you're listening to this. I launched all 3 of these at the same time so we can have good content right off the bat. So take care, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Elevate Podcast. And don't hesitate to reach out and ask me questions or let me know if you want to come on. Take care, everybody. That's a wrap for this episode of Elevate, brought to you by Frontline Empowerment Solutions, your partner in building resilience and fostering continued growth. If you found something valuable today, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who could use it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our next conversation. We're here to bring you more stories and insights, all aimed at strengthening the first responder community. Together, let's keep elevating each other, one episode at a time.